Hey y'all. I feel like it's been a while. I feel like it's always been a while. Um, I've got a green drink here because I love myself. I just started making these with just a bag of random green vegetables. Uh, so if that's not a thing you do, I highly recommend it. I take iron pills now, take fish oil pills now. And I associate taking pills with being an old person, but I think maturity is taking care of your body and taking care of your health and realize that you have to bring intention into everything you do. So I'm sharing that with you. How are y'all doing today? First off, who's here? I feel like we should just have a private conversation that people watch later and we could just talk. I pray to the Lord to be like, speak through me. I ain't got nothing to really talk about. Of course, I can always talk about whatever, but like if there's something particular, let me know, God, if you want me to share something. I came back, it's been about a few days now. I came back on Tuesday from Mexico. I was there for about 5 days. Um, and I am dancing around sort of how much to share about why I was there and who I was there with. Because, telling your business on the internet sometimes is great and sometimes it's not great. And I really don't want to experiment with the not great part. And honestly, like my entire hi, I wish I spoke the language that is from Malaysia. I've been to Malaysia. I got my ass beat in Malaysia. Tell your friends to stop beating my ass. It was on me. I shouldn't have been walking around alone at like 3 in the morning. Like, no hard feelings, honestly. Um, but yeah, what's interesting is that the way that I met the person who I was hanging out with in Mexico is through a way that is uh could potentially be very public. So it's ironic that I'm like kind of holding my cards close to the vest. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Carlene. What's y'all story? Shannon, what's your story? Carlene, what's your story? What's going on with y'all? And also, if the wonderful person from Malaysia, if you have a name that I could pronounce that I do not want to butcher it, I would also love to hear your story as well. Um, but yeah, it's just ironic that I'm being like, well, I mentioned the person when like if it becomes a thing, it's related to the NDA. If it becomes a thing, then y'all gonna know way more than I'm sharing, and it's gonna be probably very uncomfortable for me. So that's fun. That's fun. But who knows, right? Who knows if I'm ready for that? I realized that like as I'm like growing my coaching business and doing all these like creative stuff, creative things, is an element of, hey, Faith on Demand. Is your name Faith? That'd be a great title if it was, or is it something else? Say. I love that your friend is running late and that's why you're here. You're like, I'm not here because I care about you. I'm here because I have something else that I should be doing, and I'm like, you could just say you love me and then you could just leave suspiciously after 5 minutes and I'll just wonder how you are. But no, it's fine. People are often like, girl, I'm just cleaning my house. So you were the background noise. I am not actively engaged. And I'm like, all right, I'm glad you tuned in. Glad you're here. Appreciate you. Your username is Call Fat Boy Warrior. Love that for you. Hey, Nelly, natural nurse Nelly. I love that. Have you always been natural? Have you always been a nurse? How do you feel about the rapper Nelly? I appreciate you, Cece. Listen, I feel like the energy is different on the live. On the live, anything can happen. On the replay, it's been done. What's done is done. But here, when you're in the mix, anything can go down. Wallace! I feel like I haven't seen you in fucking years. How are you, Wallace? What you been up to? How is life? Hi, Ray. What's going on with you? Wow, you wonderful people on a Saturday. I like the idea of doing this. I think it's going to be every other Saturday. I think weekly on Saturday, it would stress me out. Like, I got pretty stressed out just thinking about doing it every week. And I'm not going to say it's y'all fault that I had a cold because y'all was stressing me out. Like, I'm not going to put that on y'all. But I mean, maybe if y'all wasn't pressing me, pressing your girl, show up live for us. It's like, I got a lot going on. I'm still editing the video. Hopefully, I'm going to finish it either today, if not today, then Monday for the 15K celebration. That's going to be on Tuesday. So shout out to everyone who left me a comment in that community post. It actually is now too late because I refuse to go back and do any more screenshots. So you missed your chance. But I do love you and I appreciate you and I appreciate you showing up here live. Your name is Faith, and you will be on High Demand soon as a content creator. And yes, I am Nigerian. Both parents. Never been. I don't speak the language, but I still claim it. And my name is Chimde Ihezye. So yes. Um, yes, let's hope traffic is bad, Cece, so you can hang out longer. You can stay in this good energy. How have you been, by the way? Um, Wallace has been in the cut, dealing with whatever life is throwing at him. He's surviving. He's surviving. Oh my goodness. I want to give you a hug. I'm giving you a virtual hug, Wallace. That sounds like a lot. Thank you, Nelly, about loving my name. You could be loving someone else's name too, but if it's mine, then thank you. Yours, Ray Raya's first name is actually Soraya, which is very pretty. Which means princess, and you're a trans man. Interesting. I love this. I love learning about my people. Danelle gave me some. Danelle. Also, Danelle. So you left a comment in the community post, but you didn't include the emoji. So I wasn't sure if you were saying like, yeah, spotlight me, but don't feel the need to go and get one of my clips. But I did, of course, go ahead and get one of your clips. So let me know if that was intentional. And you're like, yeah, girl, I just wanted to leave you some love. Don't include a clip from my YouTube channel. Because if not, it's going to be in there. So let me know. And thank you for the $5. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. You go help me get more green drinks and whatnot. Food, y'all. Food is costing money. I love that for us. Oh, speaking of which, this is like a little update. L-Dub is saying, you make me want to post videos, but I'm not interesting enough. So that is, in fact, a limiting belief because you have lived an entire ass life that no one else has lived. And every experience that you've experienced is new to us and to me. And if you wanted to honestly and vulnerably tell us, we would love to hear it. But that's why you signed up for coaching. All right, I'm gonna give you a little speech, but that's why you signed up for coaching. And Soraya, I know English and un poquito español and todos bien. I don't know if that's even how you say that's all. But yeah, those are the two that I know. I actually wanted to live in Mexico. And honestly, I still might. I love New York. Big fan of Brooklyn. But I was back in New York and back in Mexico. And I was like, this is great. It's very affordable. It's got a lot of green space. It's a cool ass city. Spanish is not hard to learn. So part of me is like, maybe. And you know how it is in when you got roommates and you got, rental agreements, leases. Y'all, I am not on a lease, okay? I'm paying the rent and I hope they let me stay, but I'm not on a lease. Part of me is like, should I follow up about that? Abaddon! Hey, like the $10. Y'all are so generous. Y'all really want me to eat good. I went to a gala this past week. And the girl was like, you're looking really skinny. It's not emaciated. You don't look ill. Close, but no. And I was just like, what kind of shit is this? What kind of way is this to say that you look at us be like, ooh, girl, you eating? Is everything okay with your bank balance? I'm like, damn, all right. Maybe yeah, I'm down to one meal a day, but it's just because I got a lot going on. It's not because I haven't been going to the grocery store that also I haven't been going to the grocery store. It's like $90 every time. And it's like, you know what? I got rice and beans in the house. I don't need to fucking do this, okay? It's fine. I don't need no fancy shit, okay? I'm a woman of humble means. The Lord provides all of my groceries, okay? How have you been, Abaddon? What's up with you? Dangs. Okay, Cece's friend just came, so she can't hang out with us no more. Thank you for hanging out with us for a little bit, Cece. It was fun. Let's catch up in real life. You got to come out to New York now, but that would be fun. I'm reading the comments. I feel like I was on a rant about something, and then it's just lost in the wind. I was going to tell you. Speaking of money, thank you all for these random little bits of money. I applied for a job. And applying for work feels like a betrayal of myself and all of you. And I want y'all to know that. And I applied because I was looking at my credit card and I was like, this is getting out of hand. Let's get some income, girl. This is making me uncomfortable. But what's interesting is that I don't seek out work. I mind my business and things come to me. And it was actually a YouTube subscriber who emailed and was like, "Hey, girl, I found this thing, and it's literally being a content creator, being a host." She was like, "I think you'd be a good fit for it," and I was like, "Sure." And so I applied for it yesterday, and I fully believe if I get it, it'll be just because God is like, "Yeah, girl, do this little thing if it makes you feel better. Enjoy yourself, get this experience." Um, and I'm reminded of how I really maybe shouldn't talk about jobs that I've applied for before they've even contacted me to be like, I'm just already making public statements. And I'm like, it's like a whole mindset. Y'all remember the mindset of being an employee? It's like a whole mindset you have to get into of like, okay, well, someone else is more important and they have the power and they have the purse strings. So I have to adjust my behavior to how they may. And I'm just like, right. It's a whole different mental shift. So we'll see what comes of that. Yeah, we'll see what comes of that. What skills are you brushing up on, Abadan? Um, Faith, is YouTube money? YouTube pays just the dirtiest peanuts at the bottom of the bag. No, that's not fair. But no, it's not. It's like a couple $100 just from AdSense, which is, to be clear, is awesome because you can be on YouTube forever and make 10 cents in AdSense. So to have hundreds of dollars is awesome. But in terms of actually paying my bills, it's like very nice. It's like, this is what a treat. I'm so glad that people are enjoying what I have to say, especially because I've been looking at some other channels and especially the ones that are really growing fast. And I'm like, yeah, it's because they are like, this is what I do on my channel. And they do it in every video week after week. And I'm just like, I refuse. Like, part of me is very delighted. I look at my like top 10 videos for the past month. Literally, one of my goals is that I want every single video to be about a different topic. And currently, 8 out of 10 are about different topics. One is like, quit the job. One is like, I close this gap. One is like, I don't smoke weed no more. One is like, I traveled to Mexico. Well, like, it's just like random shit, and I love it, and it makes me very happy. That's my that's the hypothesis. That's the thesis statement that I'm trying to prove is that I can just come up on here, create content, be engaging, be loving, have good editing, get the B-roll, etc. And no matter the topic, I'm like bringing y'all something that you get value out of. And so that's truly one of my goals is every single video in the top 10, but a completely unrelated topic. And I'm close. I'm very, very close. Changes says, Changes, what's your name if you wouldn't be referred to by name? Are you telling the other people in the chat to not forget to like this? Thank you for being on my team. But you know what? Honestly, there's this one guy I follow on here who does like interior design stuff. And I left a comment and then some like a spam account like commented on my comment as if it were him. And I went and I like noted that comment as spam. And I just spent like 10 minutes in that guy's comment section. And every single person from that spam account, I like marked it as spam, marked it as spam. And I was like, and I thought that was so interesting that like this person has generated such goodwill because he just consistently creates great content and is clearly just a good person doing his best. But I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna let some random asshole leave like spam comments in your comment section and like dilute your whatever. Like, and I think that's really cool. Like, and I didn't leave I'm saying it now to y'all, but I didn't leave a comment like, hey, so and so, by the way, someone's trying to spam your stuff and I did my part to help. I was like, nah, I'm doing it because of my own heart, I think that's really cool. So if that is what you're doing, Changes is like, yes, I'm reminding the other people to give us a thumbs up, which I appreciate. Yeah, and it's really cool that you can just like engender that kind of goodwill, and I really appreciate y'all. Let me know if y'all have any questions, by the way. I was going to talk about, so there's a title. There is a title to this live, which is What's Your Motivation? Because I've been thinking a lot about why I'm doing certain things, why I'm making videos, why I have my podcast, why I'm putting these reels up on Instagram, why I'm applying to random jobs, like why I'm in New York, why am I? So I feel like I'm more and more trying to listen to my spirit and my intuition, and often that's causing me to ask, like, why are you doing this? For what? And I'm finding, especially since like people pleasing is one of the things that I've been healing around, that asking that question of like, do you actually want to do this? Do you actually want to go to this place? Do you actually want to, whatever it is there a genuine desire, or are you doing it as a means to an end? And I have like a spiritual notebook that I write in. It's not nearby. Oh, it's kind of nearby, but I don't want to scooch up. I don't want y'all to see the rest of my outfit. I'm going to see if I can do it. Uh, uh, okay. I have a spiritual notebook that I write in. I like every time I read a spiritual book, I like write in it and I take notes and stuff. And I was reading something that I'd written kind of recently about essentially the only point um, of this journey is to infuse everything we do with consciousness. And when we are more concerned about the outcome, and we're more attached to the outcome of what we're doing, more than we are engaged in the process and the how and the what that we're doing, that's when we're going to get that stress and that anxiety. Because I had a sort of like resistance to coming on here live, in part because I was like, part of me feels like I'm doing it strategically. Like I really enjoy it and it's super fun. I love talking to y'all. Let me see what Ray's talking about. You recorded your last day at your full-time job 2 months ago. And I was playing in the background. Love that for us. You have to edit and upload it. Yes, share it with us. Abaddon has been doing music, 3D art design, speaking, podcasts, video editing, and he's tired. Get some rest, David. Take a nap. Take a nap. You deserve it. While also talking about his motivation, and his is to be an example for those who are sick and tired of being okey doped by this deceptive ass society. I get it. I fucking get it. Yeah. So it's interesting because I think that's my balance with being a creator is around how much am I creating because it's just the spirit is rolling through me, and how much am I putting an intention around like, okay, well, let's create these lives because they build community and they're really fun. And then people, because I have the 30 minutes with y'all and then I go 30 minutes on the Patreon. And then people are like, oh, Patreon. And they join the Patreon. And then I grow my income streams and, and then I can buy more green drink, so, and it feels like it is the responsible thing to do, to be intentional and strategic. I want to talk about something else. And drinking this green drink reminded me of it. So when I was applying for this job, which is this online content creator job, I went back and I looked at some of my different videos to give as examples of what I can do. And it was very interesting because the 3 videos that I picked have completely different energies. So one is a video I made back in LA when I still had that job. And I'm talking about finance and savings and my salary. And I'm going on rants about like injustice and like economic oppression. And I'm real serious. And I make a few jokes, but I'm real serious. And then the next one is the one where I talk about being single. And that's the one where I'm like all like nasty and I'm talking about big old dicks and like just like being very kind of like over the top and just very, of course, high energy and just cackling a bunch. And it's like a very different energy. And the third one is more recent. And it's me being like, let's take some deep breaths. The nature of trauma. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm the same me, but I was just like, and I just realized that I really am, like, I don't know. I was like, we change over time. That's great. It's cool. But it did just make me wonder, like, yeah, kind of like, who are you? Like, which one is the real you? Who are you? And I think I also thought about how the version that I was most attracted to was the middle version, who was like very excitable, very silly, a little raunchy, like really like that was the version I connected to the most. And it felt a little bit like, and what really came up for me was the part of me that is a little bit more calm and grounded. And takes my deep breaths and is connected to what I'm saying, and I'm not just fucking running my mouth for the sake of it. Feels like it's the healthier version. And so I think part of me was like, dang, is the healthy version of me not the most engaging version of me? And it made me think about like, that's such a common thing we hear with like people who use drugs and alcohol and even just darkness as motivation, right? And they worry like, oh, well, if I heal my trauma, if I stop drinking, if I stop smoking, I'll no longer be as good of a writer or a director or actor or whatever else the thing is. And it's just very strange to hear things from the outside and then to then experience it in like my life. I'm like, oh, that's kind of how I feel. It's like the version of me that's just like, yeah, content isn't as fun to watch. And then that means less success. But as I talk, I realize that's actually that judgment voice, that fear voice that's saying healing is bad for your business. Healing is bad for your bank account. So stop. Stop it. Live in your trauma, live in your fear, live in your judgment, and get a million YouTube subscribers. If you heal, if you weep it out, if you reconnect to your childhood self, all that'll end is in poverty and shame. So fucking stop it. And that's the whole thing of that voice. It's just telling us to stop doing what we're supposed to be doing, what we want to be doing anyway, you know? Also, these I was gonna say these taste like shit, but I love you, green drink, and I love everything you've done for me. Thank you. I just usually add some sugar and I didn't add any, so I'm just really drinking water and fucking broccoli, but it's fine. Oh, Carly said I'm so funny. Thanks, Carlene. I fucking live off compliments. I thrive off compliments. Ray is saying that the time that they save from working these long ass hours, they've learned American Sign Language, French, Chinese, Spanish, Korean, Hindi, shit. Okay, I don't think that's a time thing. I think that's a separate set of skills that you have to acquire that many languages. I don't think that's like, I had some free time, so now I know Hindi. It's like, you got an extra set of skills. Not that we don't all have access to those skills, but I don't think it's solely a matter of time. And if maybe write a course on how to learn languages fast, because that seems really impressive. We've got about 8 minutes left, y'all. Is there anything else y'all want to chat about? Any reflections y'all are having? What are you doing right now? Are you cleaning your house? Are you walking down the street? Are you waiting for a friend to arrive at a pre-planned, meeting of some sort? Are you truly like, oh, Chimky's live? Are you literally sitting at your computer like watching me? Are you drinking? Are you eating something? What would be fun? Wallace is working on a project. Ooh, you're writing a script for a webpage. Change is about to get into a Philly cheesesteak. You better eat the motherfucking cheesesteak. I love that. Ooh, hi, Minucha. That's a pretty name. Yes, you relate to the creative voices that are giving us excuses not to heal. Blazer Blast is here. He's eating eggs. Get ready to go to the gym. You better fucking work out. Yes, working out. I just started doing hatha yoga. Very intense. I love it. It got me weeping again. The yoga plus the shavasana plus my meditation allowed me to re-access my emotions. I was really going through it. I don't know if I talked to y'all about that. I was really going through it about a week ago. Before Mexico, I was going through it. Then I went to Mexico and I was like, we're not shedding a single tear because like the wells were dried up. I was like, we're not doing that. And then I came back and it's been a few days and I did some yoga and the moon is out and now I'm able to cry again, which I do connect to healing and I'm very glad about that. Shannon's finishing up breakfast. Okay, using the Trove app. TRVE14, that's the code. Basically, like whatever you want to collect, you just put it on there. So I've created ones around podcasts. I actually want to add a podcast I just listened to about imposter phenomenon. The guy uses phenomenon and that syndrome. And literally it starts with like Michelle Obama, Viola Davis, Tom Hanks, even Einstein being like, y'all, I'm a fucking scammer. I'm actually not good at what I do. I'm really not sure. Like, and then being like, and it's all around like people who are Maya Angelou, people who are like, come on, Maya Angelou, you're good at writing poems. People who we know are great also have that same thing in their head about like, yeah, actually, they're going to find me out. And I was like, what? So I'm going to add that. I like made a collection. I think they're called kernels. Like an individual one is called a kernel. But I made a collection about different podcasts that have changed my life. And I'm going to add that as a kernel and talk about that podcast because it really did blow my mind. Like Maya Angelou, Einstein, it's just like Tom Hanks. Come on, we love Tom Hanks. So yeah, that's basically how it works. You just like collect all the different stuff. I want to make a one where it's just like different motivational songs. I listened to this one. It's called Sparkly, and it's literally a song about this woman just talking about how great she is. She's like, every time I look in the mirror, I'm being blessed. And I was like, yes. And sometimes I just listen to it, and it brings my vibration up. I did one for TV shows on Netflix, so it's just stuff like that. Um, you were picking up an Uber Eats order, Ray, and you saw your live notification. Will I still create videos when I start working at a job? Well, let's see if the Lord wants me to get that job first off. Because if I don't get that job, that's because God was like, no, no. And then I'll be like, all right, I was just wondering if you wanted me to pay my credit card bills, but if you don't want me to pay them, then I'll fucking keep not paying them. All right. This is the conversation with us. And of course I will. Yeah. My entire 4 years of my channel before the last year, I had jobs the whole time. So the only time I found it really hard to keep creating was when I was traveling, when I was doing that year abroad and working full time. And then sometimes fucking working like East Coast hours in Asia. So like starting work at 9 p.m. and working until 5 a.m. And even just now when I was in Mexico, like, cause I had, like, there was no reason why I couldn't have like just, set aside the time and done the editing to get the video live for last week. And I just didn't prioritize it. And I think like, part of that's like the balance of, you want to, if you're in a new place, I really want to enjoy it and live into it and pour into it and get what I need from it. But part of that is just like the commitment to, well, I made a promise to my community that I'm going to upload every week. And so I want to make sure that happens. And so I was like, I'm going to upload something. It might not be a full, 8 to 20-minute video about whatever topic and thing I learned that week. But it's going to be something to let y'all know, like, listen, I'm alive. I'm good. I care about y'all. Y'all are the best. I appreciate the support. And even though there's going to be literally no content but me living my best life in a foreign country, I want y'all to know that I still love you. This is such an interesting question. Saray is like, you ever go have a child? I'm like, the main reason I'd have a child or a handful of children would be to pass on my genetic code. I was in it was Senegalese. I thought it was Nigerian because of the food they served. It was actually a Senegalese restaurant. And I was waiting for my food, and there was it was a family at the table eating. And at the table it was a group of children. I don't know the ages, anywhere from like maybe like 8 to 9 to maybe like 12 to 14. And they were having some conversation. And I remember listening and being like, it is a wonder that as a child I was ever seen or heard or listened to, because I had nothing to say. I had no life experience. I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. And to just listen to these children talk, I was like, y'all don't, and there's such a confidence. There's such a confidence. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I was just like, I just had so much more grace for my parents and for any adult that's ever met me, because I've always been like this. Can you imagine a high school version of me, a middle school version of me with the same energy and same confidence and being like, and you know what you should do? And I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. And arguably still don't, but I really didn't know then. And I was just talking. This YouTube channel is me being like, I got some things to say, but I think y'all are gonna like it. Like, that's so bold. Which is to say, I think being a parent is just an incredible responsibility, and it really requires so much, you know. So it will be God's plan. It will be God's plan. But parents are incredible. Parents are incredible, because we as people and we as children are remarkable, what we demand from them. So that's my long answer. I hope that I hope that answers your question. Oh, Wallace can't wait to be a dad one day. Oh, that's sweet. I think you gotta really want it. You gotta be like, you know what? Yes, you gotta raise a person. How are you a person raising another person? How does that work? You're still figuring it out, but you do your best. Satria, hey girl, you coming in real late. We only gonna be here for about 40 more seconds, but I'm glad to see your face. Satria is the one who drew that gorgeous ass photo of me that, as I said, very literally made me weep. So appreciate you, girl. Thanks for hanging out with us. Blazer Blast, you missed it earlier, but I applied for a like an online video host content creator job with this company. And if it is God's plan, then I will work that job. And if not, then obviously I won't. So, and I literally applied yesterday. I love to tell y'all shit that I just did it, like will maybe lead to nothing. And it's just a thing that happened in my life. Okay. Oh, so Tria was doing yard work. No, you honestly, this is exactly what we're doing. We're just hanging out, and I was asking what y'all was doing, and then sharing reflections on parenthood, trauma, jobs, crying, green drinks, the whole thing. And we're gonna keep it pushing over at the Patreon. So it's patreon.com/Chimsy. I'm gonna go hop over there, keep it pushing. It's gonna be interesting because it's just like this. I'm like, what are we gonna talk about? Only it's more small, intimate. So then I'm even more off the rails because I don't give a shit. And I really try to not curse as much because I know YouTube doesn't like it, but I gotta be myself. Okay. Yes, Ray was loving the photo. Yes, you're so talented, Satria. All right. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. I appreciate it. I'll be back not next Saturday, but the one after. We can do this shit again. Let me know if you would prefer there be just any direction at all to the conversation. Or if you're like, no, girl, we're just hanging out, doing yard work, waiting for our friends, eating Philly cheesesteaks. We don't give a shit. And that feels true. That feels true to me. Okay, bye.